Okay, so for video 2, I want to give you everyone an idea of how to get started with making a pamphlet like what we have over here. So as promised, I do want to just review some of the basics of what I'm looking for. Just remember that I would like you to actually make your own completely. But the good news about that is you can choose any type of topic or product or organization that you want. So it could be something realistic, it could be something fictitious. Just try to keep it PG-13 if you can. So what you need here, as I said before, is you're going to need your main cover, which could be something like this, an area specifically for your contact information. It could even go into 2 pages if you want to do that. Or this area could just be for some kind of picture or whatnot. The inside would basically be filled with all kinds of different elements of information and such. So that's basically the long and short. Now I have provided this in the week 12 material. So if you do need an example, it'll be here right and ready for you. So let's just turn this off for now, and we'll get right into it. And just to show you what's going on, I made another folder just for my demonstration. Now these are meant to be ones that I'm going to be using for my pamphlet. Ideally, I'd like you to try and find your own if you can. But the topic that I'm going with is the Maryland SPCA. Just wanted to make a quick little pamphlet with this, just because I thought it would be cute and interesting. Now, if you want to go with your own, or if you want to try and make something similar to this, you can. Just and you can use this as a start if you want, but just try to put your own spin on it if you can. Okay, so again, to get started, I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to New, and I'm going to go to Document. Oops, sorry about that. Boink. And again, this is going to be named art1570 underscore bro underscore your last name. So art1570 underscore bro underscore your last name. We're going to keep these dimensions the same. We're going to keep the orientation landscape. It's going to be 2 pages, which I already have, 3 columns. You can keep the gutter as is, but this is basically all the main elements you need. So again, if you go to your print preset, this will get you started. The only thing you really need to change is landscape. Make sure it's 2 pages. Again, this is going to be kind of a front and back thing, and 3 columns. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to hit create. Now make sure that your Essentials Classic, which I already am anyways, and let's actually put these right next to each other, because this is going to be a factor what I like you to do. I want you to select page 2, right click, and turn off. This is one of those strange parts where turning off something will be a better decision. And then just put this directly to the left of page 1 so you can see them both at the same time. Fantastic. Okay, now that that's done, I can keep things on the layers. So what I'll do first is I'll add a little bit of a background, again using the rectangle tool to help. And I'm going to make sure that the color, again in this case, is going to be blue. And that, that's pretty much going to be it. And the actual stroke, because I don't really need a stroke in this case, is going to be none. And I'm just going to go, just didn't cancel there, to the upper left to the lower right. That's just going to be the easiest way to approach this. Perfect. Okay. So again, this area over here is going to be just the information or potential extra picture, which I think I'm going to actually put an extra picture here. This is going to have some information. This is going to have my cover. So my best bet here is maybe put in an extra rectangle. Oh, I'm just going to deselect this for a moment. Again, just a safety precaution here. And since this area is going to have text, I'm going to add an extra little rectangle here. I'm going to change the color from what I have to another. In this case, I'm going to put this as paper white. And again, if it's going a little off the edge, wouldn't be a bad idea to fix that. Yep. There we are. Cool. And I'm going to add an extra paper rectangle over here. just going to go to this upper left and lower right. I'll just cover the whole thing because that'll be fine. And again, I'm going to change this to paper white. Perfect. And I'm going to call this layer background. And I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to lock this up because, again, I can do that. And this way I don't accidentally move something by mistake. Then I'm going to add my picture. So I'll add the pictures first in this case so I can just plan out where I'm going to put everything else. So the front cover over here, I'm definitely going to need my picture. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to Place. And go into my Bro Picks. Probably should have picked a better name, but that's okay. And I'm going to pick the Maryland SPCA, and I'm just going to click and drag this from one column to the other. See how big that is? Now, that looks pretty good, actually. And I could just move this around the middle. Yeah, I'm kind of digging where this is going. Okay, but the good news is I don't need to change that at all, which is nice. I'm going to put another picture over here. So I'm going to go to File. I'm going to go to Place yet again. And I'm going to put the dog and the picture of the dog and the cat this time. Oh, they look so cute. Okay, and I'm going to put another picture of the entrance. At least I believe that's the entrance. Oh, don't forget that when you're putting in a new picture that you have to make sure. Yeah, there we are. That nothing else is selected. Oop. Yeah, there we are. Cool. And I could put all my contact information over here. So what I'll put in this case, the last two pictures I'm going to be putting. Now, you don't necessarily need to put as many pictures as I'm putting in. I would just put in, let's see here. Yeah, I have to get this puppy. Oop. There we go. Okay, that puppy's way too cute, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm just going to go to File one last time. Again, I wanted to make sure I have a good ratio of dogs and cats. And this one's actually going to go a little bit over. So, cool. I got all my pictures. I'll put this as a second layer. Now, looking at this now, I might actually move my pictures around a little bit. Who knows? But, yeah, I think I'm going to actually do that. I thought this looked good over here, but I think this could work much better going down here. Oop. Yep. And this one potentially could look a little bit better up there. Yeah, I'm digging that much better. Okay. So now that that's done, well, my main layout's done here. I'm going to take a moment to save this. Go to File, Save As. And again, put this in the Bro folder, or in my case, the Bro folder. And again, when you're working with this, I strongly recommend putting all your files in one folder. Again, if you do not, if you need to make a change later, that will make things considerably more difficult. Remember your days back in Illustrator where I was telling everyone that they had to embed their picture, where if they did not, then the reference picture wouldn't go over with it. Similar principle, although this is a little bit more forgiving. But if you did want to change things later, that does make things a little bit more tricky if you don't have it. But it's all in the same folder so far, so I am good. Okay, so this is going to be my text. And what I'm going to do here is I am going to, once again, just add an area for contact information. Now, just as a heads up, the contact information and all this other information does not need to be real. So in this case, I'll put like contact info. And what kind of text am I using? That works okay. Now I'm going to change mine to Times New Roman. Yep, there we are. And that's the font I'm going to be using for this. So here's contact info. Let's see, phone, fax, for anyone who actually uses a fax anymore. Some people do, so that's why I'm putting it in. Email, website. And if you want to go further with this, which you are more than welcome to do, you could even go total social media by adding Facebook. Let's see, Twitter or Instagram. After all, they got to show up those cute little animals and try to get the word out there that they exist. And again, you can organize this however you wish. I can probably put that in the middle. That's probably going to look a little bit nicer. But again, experiment with a couple looks. Yeah, that looks like it could work. Okay. Still debating on what I want to do for the title. I might just get rid of this picture entirely because as much as I like the puppy being here, I feel that he might be more distracting than helpful. So, but I am digging what's going on here. Oh, actually, I know what I could do with him. I could just put him right over here. Oh, have to. So the first thing that you see is this little puppy. Okay, so I like that better because this way I could put a longer title over here, which I'm going to put. And of course, this case, I'm going to make the title a little bit bigger. Still going to keep it Times New Roman, though. Let's see. How the SPCA helps animals. Yeah, I like that. Put that. I'll put that right over here. Bring this down a little bit, and even use this line to. Nah, I don't actually need the line. No, I'm good with that. Okay. And then I can make a new bunch of columns. Sorry, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get the exact placement. And then just add the last one up here. And again, to make sure that they're all connected, I can just click the little lower area over here to here, then this area to here, and yeah, just going to bring this down a little bit. Yeah, I'm digging that. And right click, fill with placeholder text. And yeah, experiment a little bit with how the looks go, because what you think one look might look good might not end up looking so good in the end. Okay, so that's the basic layout, but there's still some more stuff we can do with this. And again, a little bit more time to practice for the real thing. So again, I'm going to take this little bit of text over here. I'm going to use the drop cap. It's basically found over here, drop cap number lines. I'm going to add 3 lines to that. On second thought, I'll go with 2. Yeah, that looks nicer. Because again, the whole idea of a drop cap is to basically attract the eye to a particular area so you start reading in the right place. Now I'm also going to turn off the lock for the picture. Oh, that's already done. And I'm going to put the text wrap over here. Now there's a little mini version over here. I just want to make sure that was known, that you can wrap around binding box. You can wrap around the object. But if for some reason it's not working out the way that you want it to, that's why you can go to the window and the text wrap over here so you can make adjustments. and push that out a little bit more if necessary. But if you have to just do it in a quick pinch, the text wrap can be found over here as well. That's one of the reasons why the essentials, at least in this case, can be quite helpful. Now the last thing we need to do, because if you take a look at your text, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a plus over here. That means the text is leaking out. But if you either use the black arrow or use the text, you can basically select the text area over here, right click, edit in story editor. That's the main reason why it's here. And anything that's overset, and there's a decent amount, you can lose. Yep, so nothing beyond the dolupa, or yeah, that's not actually a word in this case. But yeah, so that basically is wrapped up. Now, one of the reasons why it's a good idea to always check this stuff out, even if your job is focusing on the design, you want a tight design for yourself if you can do that. And this does help out quite a bit for that. So there's no areas that leak out, there's no strange elements in here, and best of all, if you take a look down here, there's no errors. And that is something that for the final project I will be looking for. But at the very least, for what you're handing in for the first assignment, I'll be given quite a bit more leeway. But this is, again, the main elements that I'm looking for this assignment. Okay, good, nothing has been changed. So if you have something in the ballpark of this, then that's fantastic. If you do better, I will be very happy with that. And I would expect most people to do better, because this only took me about maybe 15 minutes to do. So I think with about a good 30, you can make something look fantastic. Okay, so just some last things I just wanted to show, and we'll wrap things up. If you go to View, if you want to see how this is really going to look, you could go to Screen Mode and just hit Preview. And this is what the final version is going to look like. So again, this part's actually looking pretty solid. This area looks a little bit strange, but you're going to be folding this up into threes anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. For the, again, view, and if you want to see how this really looks in case some of the text looks a little bit off, like for example over here, if you go to Display Performance and put this at high quality display, this will basically make the pictures, in most cases, look a little bit better quality. Now, one of the reasons why that's on here, I should probably mention that, why don't we see the best right away? Well, there's a good reason for that. For 2 pages, this isn't going to be a big problem. But imagine having high quality pictures, things that potentially could be several megs, possibly hundreds of megs, possibly even gigs worth of stuff on many different pages. If you have the high quality on at all times, your computer's probably going to go down to a crawl. If you remember Jack, one of the tutors, he actually uses this software to help out with his publishing. And again, in these cases, having it on a typical display, in other words, a lower quality, just for working with, makes the whole process a lot easier. So I wouldn't recommend turning this on until you're ready. It does take up more resources. But again, for 2 pages, you're probably not going to notice that much of a difference. Okay, so final step here. Again, you go to File, and I would save it just to be on the safe side. Always want to keep a copy of yourself. But what you're going to be turning in is you're going to use the export option. And I'd like you to export a Adobe PDF print file. That's pretty much it. So make sure the name's properly here. art1570 _bro _ your last name. Save that up. The default settings should be fine. And yeah, once you take a look at your bro pics, the end result should look something like this. And I'm pretty happy with this. Okay, so that's basically, again, what the assignment is in a nutshell. Just try your best. Again, the whole idea is to get used to how the software works, hopefully become more familiarized with it. Oop, almost forgot to put in text here. So that when you have to do something similar to this for the final project, it should hopefully be a little bit easier. So that's pretty much it for this week. Again, just wanted to keep things a little bit lighter. But if you do have any questions, or if there's anything that you need to do, please contact me as soon as possible. Also, don't forget that if you do get this done early, I will accept resubmissions for any projects that you've done, as long as they were handed in on time. And if they are handed in on time, most likely there won't be a penalty for handing in something late. But even if you do still need to hand in something, again, just email me and we'll talk it out. So that's it for this week, at least for now. Just keep an eye on your email, though. I might take a moment to give some last instructions. But besides that, I hope everyone has a nice week. And I'll see y'all on the next one.